Hello, everyone. My name is Holly, and I will be the English trainer for this hour. We are going to talk about youth and old age. We will go over some vocabulary as far as what each section or each time of our lives is called in English, and then we will go over some idioms, and then we will have a discussion. And hello, Alexander. How are you?
Hello, fine, thank you. How are you?
Very good, very good. Did you take a break between the last class?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And um let's see. What there was a class schedule. Okay. Um good. So how long do you usually study on Verbling per day?
It's my first. Oh no, I have been here 1 week, a
Okay.
month ago maybe, and then our uh, uh, dollar exchange very jumped
Uh-huh.
high,
I
and
heard.
I can't afford it. Then it's a little bit lower, but twice, like I said, it was dollar was 33 rubles. Now it's 52. But
Wow.
yeah. But it would be even 80, and
Uh-huh.
it was very expensive to buy Verling subscription. Now it's 52. It's less that it was, and I can afford it. And since January 1st, it
Uh-huh.
started 3 months.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
I hope
And you
it will be
locked in the
very
three
helpful.
months. You
Yeah,
locked in the
subscription.
3 months for so that the ruble doesn't change again. So
Yeah. Because it could be rise again.
exactly.
I'm afraid.
Hmm. Hi, Gabe. How are you today? Can you speak today or only text? Okay, we can deal with that. So, all right, that is fine. Can you actually speak from Dubai, like if you were at home? Because I know that Dubai was okay, you can. Okay, I know that I had a friend that was living in Dubai, and he couldn't use Skype, for example. So. But yeah, you are working right now. So, and Alexander, when do you go to work?
Uh, in 2 weeks,
Oh, 2 weeks.
I'll
Oh,
go.
vacation
Yeah,
time.
yeah, vacation. That's why I spent too much
Hmm.
time on
Hmm.
Warbling.
Well, that's good. At least it's productive time. So, it did.
Yeah.
Does everybody in Russia have this 2 week break, or is it just a few people? Or
It depends on work. It can be months. It can be um, mostly it's 2 week.
for most people who are
Yeah.
in like
At
an
least
office job or
90
something.
90% of people it's 2 week.
During this time. That's
Uh,
awesome.
but you can take it twice a year, 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay, got it. So your vacation is 2 weeks twice a year, and usually people take it during this time because of the holiday, and then maybe in the summer. Is that what happens?
Yeah, mostly yes.
Mm-hmm.
After
Okay.
after holiday or before holiday and in summer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah. In the States, people only get 2 weeks a year, and so um, usually, but it depends, of course, on the job. And I told you, have you ever heard of PTO? And
No,
by the
I
way,
haven't heard.
because Gaith is using the Google Chat, I'm going to use the Google Chat as well. Um, PTO stands for Gaith. Do you know what PTO is? It stands for paid time off. Okay, it stands for paid time off, and a lot of American companies, instead of giving like 2 weeks or 4 weeks a year or whatever for vacation, what they do is they give you PTO, which is paid time off, and that's for your sick leave, for personal leave, and also for vacation. And so you can take it any way you want. And usually it's between 15 and 20 weeks a year. Excuse me, 15 and 20 days a year. so it's including sick leave. And so if you have planned a vacation and then you get sick, you either go to work sick or you miss out on your vacation or you just don't get paid for your vacation. So it's a new system that they've set up in the last several years. So, all
Pretty
right.
hard.
Yeah.
Pretty tough, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was before I started teaching. Okay, that's totally fine, Gaith. I will not. Thank you for telling me that, because I didn't know how much to have you participate yesterday when you were in the class. So that's good to know that this is just for your listening, and then asking questions. It's great. So, all right. So the topic for this class is youth and old age. And basically, in this class, what we will be doing is be going over some vocabulary related to everyone's time of life, and then and make sure everybody knows the vocabulary, and then we will be going over some idioms. And then after that we will do a discussion, and I'm hoping that more people show up, and if not, you guys are getting kind of a semi-private class. Gaith gets to practice listening comprehension, and Alexander, you get to practice speaking. So we have different words here. We have infant, toddler, preschooler, school-age child, preteen, teenager, young adult, adult, middle-aged, retired, and old. So how old are you when you are an infant? Do you have any idea, Alexander?
Just born. Maybe 1 year, before 1 year.
1 year, okay. So yeah, so you're basically, as an infant, another word for infant is a baby. Oops. Pardon me. Baby, which would also be, is 0 to 1. So you're exactly right. So what would a toddler be?
Who can crawl or almost walk?
Yeah. It's actually they're already walking, and toddle to toddle means to walk unsteadily. So you're not walking very well. So you fall half the time, and that's what a toddler does.
Can I say toddle about a drunk guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not normally said that way, but it's possible. But yeah, that's one example of how a drunk guy would actually walk. How would we describe that? A person who I think we would say unsteady, that he's walking unsteadily. Unsteady. And that's usually how we would use that. So okay, so a toddler is usually from age 1 to, any idea what the next age is? 1 to what?
Maybe 3 or 4.
It's actually 1 to 2.
Oh,
and then a preschooler is usually, what do you think?
who go to kindergarten? Oh, I know how it in English.
Um,
Kindergarten.
yeah, sometimes a preschooler would go to kindergarten, or at least they're that age. Some parents, like in the States, some parents can't afford preschool because preschool is not public, it is not free. So, but they're at the age that they can go to preschool. So, um, yeah. So, any idea what age a preschooler would go, or a
Till
preschooler would
till
be?
5, I guess, till 5,
Uh-huh.
because
Okay.
since 6 we go to school.
Yeah, so 3 to 5.
Mm.
Yeah. And in Russia, you go to school at 6?
6 or 7.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes 5, but it's very rare.
Hmm. Okay. And in
Average
the
it's 6.
yeah, in the States it's between 5 and 6. In Finland it was 7. And very rarely did a child go at 5 or 6, but they all went to preschool. And so I think that's one reason they were able to start school later. So, because they were all at preschool. Um, okay, what is a school age child?
From 6 to 10.
Actually, it's actually 6 to 12.
Mm.
Usually, but I mean, it really depends. Or 6 to 11 maybe. We'll do 6 to 11 or 12, depending on the child and how soon they started school and so forth. Okay, a preteen. What age is a preteen?
From 12 to 16, 15 to 16.
No, it's
No?
actually from 10 to 12. 10 to 12. Hello,
Oh.
Ake. So, welcome. Yeah, so from 10 to 12. Or it actually could be 10 to 13. It usually depends on the maturity of the child. Some kids are preteens when they're 9. You know, if they have older brothers and sisters and they start acting like teenagers. But usually it's when they get to the double digits, about 10 to 12, at least in English. So, okay, can you hear us?
Yes, hello, how are you?
Excellent. Is everything loaded?
Yes, I
Awesome.
have loaded. Yes.
Okay, excellent. So we have Gaith here. He is from he's living in Dubai, and he's from Jordan, but he's unable to speak, so he's only just doing a listening comprehension, and we are participating. We're using the Google Chat today. So,
Okay.
and then we have Alexander from Russia, and then you're from Japan. So, question for you, Ake, how old are you when you are a teenager? Or how old is a person when they are a teenager?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
How
yeah,
old are
I
people
don't.
when they're teenagers?
Mhm.
Any idea?
Teenager. I think teenagers means teen from 10 to 12.
Really? That's preteen.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. That's my understanding of teenager.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because of word teen.
Okay. That's the reason a preteen is 10 to 12 because it's before they are teenagers. So, and then the teenager year, I think, is probably in this type of situation, it's probably the easiest because in English, a teenager is 13 to 19. Any age that has teen at the end can be considered a teenager. So 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's the only one that's actually, you know, easiest. That's the easiest one to figure out, I think. So
Okay.
Interesting
That's
hint. I didn't know that.
yeah,
mm,
there are 12-year-olds that see themselves as teenagers, but they're really not. I mean, in reality, when it comes to the actual rules and stuff, but there are 12-year-olds, there are preteens that act like teenagers, and then there are 18-year-olds that have taken on the role of a young adult as well. So, um, but a teenager, you can call anybody a teenager from 13 to 19. And then once you get at 20, you're different. So what would a young adult be? Any idea, guys?
From
22.
from 20 to 20, 25, I guess.
Okay. It's actually 18 to 30. So even though, so there are teenagers who are also young adults. So they actually fit into both categories.
Mhm.
So, and then of course in a person's 20s is what we'll say. In the 20s, they will be considered young adults. So 18 and 19, it depends. So there are some 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds that are still in high school and they're still living at home, and there are some 18 and 19-year-olds that are at university and have a job and they're living away from home, and so that's why they're considered young adults as well. So it depends on the child or the person as to what they are doing, as to whether they would be considered a teenager or a young adult. So, in Japan, at what age do kids usually leave home?
Nowadays, it's longer because of the depression.
Oh, okay.
Many young adults live with their parents.
Okay. So, but when do they officially, when do they go from teenager to adult? A
I
young
think
adult.
kind of the age of 20 is a special here because they got kind of vote, right for vote,
Uh-huh.
have civil rights, and driver's license could be 18, but yeah, drinking alcohol from 20 legally, or
Okay.
cigarette.
Okay. So, 20 is actually quite late compared to some countries.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
other later than other countries.
Yeah. And how about in Russia? When are kids considered an adult? At what age?
Alcohol are unfortunately allowed to drink since 18,
From 18.
unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's it's still child.
That's what. Well, I guess that's what some people in Ake in my country think, because in the States it's 21.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I guess it's much clever.
yeah, I don't know, because everything else is 18. You can actually smoke from 16. You drive from 14 to 16. You vote at
Oh, drive.
18. Yeah, you drive
Oh,
very early. You vote at 18. You serve in the military at 18. You can have a full-time job from the age of 16 or 17. But drinking is 21, so a lot of people will have responsibilities of an adult, but yet they're still too young to drink. So I think for most people it's a good thing, but it's not for everybody. But
so you can drive from 14?
it depends on the state. Each state is different.
Whoa.
When I was growing up,
Yes.
I could have gotten my license when I was 14. But long story short, I got my license when I was 24, which was very, very late for an American. Most
Yeah.
Americans get their license between the ages of 15 and 17, usually
For
16.
us it's since 18.
So 18 is pretty much everything for you guys, right?
Yes, void, but passport you get when you are 14.
Okay. You actually get a passport?
Yes, at 14. Before 14, you have birth certificate only.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
In the US, the only people that have passports are people that actually travel outside of the US.
We have two, but it's special passport for go
Okay.
abroad.
So an international passport and then
Yes,
regular
international
one.
passport.
How about in Japan? Okay.
Mhm.
Um, what are the different ages for different things that you do?
Yeah, probably one difference peculiarity the marriage age. Legally marriage age 16 for women and 18 for men. I
Really?
think some people began to say it's sexist thing, so maybe it will change in the future.
Huh.
Yeah, but because in the past maybe uh, uh, kind of woman relied on men, so men have to be kind of older or something like that. But kind of that's the one peculiarity, and other things, and it was the legal drinking age, but many people start drinking or smoking cigarette before that actually.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's everywhere, I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I didn't. I was one of those geeks that, actually followed the rules, but I think I was 21 before I ever had any alcohol. But um, but a lot of people at 15 or 16 is when they go and drink the first time. So,
But sometimes it's dangerous because the youngsters don't know the limits of drinking. So
yeah.
for like kind of for the in the universities, sometimes students will die because of
Uh-huh.
too much alcohol because
Yeah.
the senior student forced to drink or such kind of thing. Really,
Mhm.
yeah.
There was a Facebook post a couple of weeks ago or a
Mm,
couple months ago uh, of a father who had posted a picture of his daughter who was at
mm,
a hospital, and she was 14 years old,
right.
and he had left his daughter and their cousins and his nieces, who were about 14 or 15, at
Mm,
home for 40 minutes.
yeah.
They're old enough to be left at home. And he came back, and they had been drinking alcohol
Mm,
so strong
mm,
that she was in the hospital with alcohol
mm,
poisoning. And it's like,
mm.
really?
So
So,
through my experience, maybe teenagers people drink or maybe that around 20 people drink a lot. My friend, I don't drink so much because I can't, but a
uh-huh.
lot. But maybe 25 after the age of 25, people don't drink so crazily because maybe their body or they realize it's that kind of thing happened.
Yeah.
So, but such kind of time in which around 20, yeah, maybe people tend to be very wild,
Do
kind of
you,
after drinking. Mhm.
yeah, is it the same in Russia, Alexander? Do people settle down around 25 once they start drinking?
Sorry, can I distracted a little
Oh, okay.
because
Um,
my phone.
Oh, no worries. Ake was saying that in Japan, a lot of people when it's illegal for them to drink, they drink too much and they party a lot more, and then they start settling down when they're about 25, and they stop drinking as much and so forth. And I was just wondering if that's the same in um, Russia.
Yeah. It depends on person, but mostly, yeah, I stopped uh, partying and kind of stuff maybe at 23
Okay, so you just and I had a
because I started too too young,
uh-huh.
unfortunately.
And I started too late. I started kind of partying a little bit when I was 24, when I was living in Korea, and stopped when I was 25. So,
We have a joke in Russia.
uh-huh.
When I'll try to. When everybody in the world only start drinking in 21, in Russia, you already stop it.
Already stopped, but everybody's in Russia. You've stopped by the time the rest of the world has
It's
started.
because many of young people started in a very young age, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to the topic. 18. Excuse me, not 18. When is a person an adult? Considered an adult in most countries? And I looks like Ake left, so he said be right back. So Gaith wrote 30 to 40. No.
I'm adult.
What?
I'm adult already.
Already, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I guess I look like 45, 40, 25, 26.
Okay.
Hopefully.
You look like you're 25, 26.
Yeah. Nobody can guess my age.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It's one girl just did it, but too close. 1 year. She had a mistake.
Mm-hmm. I am very similar. I look much younger than I am, and people usually give me. They think I'm in my early 30s, and I'm actually 45. Once we've talked to each other, then they realize, oh, she's got to be older than she looks. So once I start talking, but a lot of people think
you
I'm
have a very
very young face.
much younger looks and especially voice.
Yeah. So a lot of people think I'm much younger and so forth. So, but that's fine. It's
very
weird.
Good, actually.
I see a lot of people on Facebook who are my age, and I'm like, really? I'm really shocked about it. So okay. What do you think? When does somebody become an adult? What at what age?
Me personally,
Or anyone?
become adult, the age?
Yeah. How old are they when they are an adult?
Probably legally to 20, and but some people start the job earlier than 20, or it's up to the person.
Okay. It's actually on the chart. It's actually 18 plus. So
Okay.
basically, anybody who is an adult can be 18 plus. So if you see this, there's an 18 and 19-year-olds can be considered teenagers. They can also be considered young adults, but they are also in the adult category as well, depending on the situation, the person and everything. Yeah, exactly. All right. How about middle aged? When does middle age start?
So can I ask a question? Yeah. So how about adolescent? In what age is called adolescent?
Adolescent.
Adolescent, yeah.
Adolescent would be another word for like preteen and teenager. So we would put it actually between there. You're an adolescent. So I would say anywhere from 10 to 17, maybe. Something like that. Yeah, but this adolescent is not used that much. But there are a lot of more words here, though. Because, for example, a young adult, a lot of times we have other words like the 20s, the 30s, so forth. So, all right, what age is someone if they're middle-aged? Any idea for that one?
40, from 40 to 50,
Okay.
maybe.
What do you think? Okay.
30 to 50.
And then Gabe said start from 30. It's interesting because I've asked this question to students for years and years, and I even asked my mom, how old are you if you're middle aged? And it depends on how old you are. So I don't feel I'm 45. I don't feel middle aged. So I will say, of course, it starts at 50. So. Um, but I think most people say between 35 and 55 is when you're middle aged. But of course, it really just depends. The middle aged, retired, and old depends on the culture, and it depends on a lot of different variables. So it's much easier at this point when you're infant, toddler, preschooler, this age, because it's very easy. But once you get into the adult age, it gets very confused. It can be very confusing. So nobody really knows this one at all, and it's a very long period. So okay, retired. So this I've learned is different in different countries. So okay, how old are people when you retire in Japan?
Usually 16. No, 60.
60. Okay,
Yeah.
so in Japan it's 60, age 60.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Gaith, for participating. Have a good work day. And Alexander, how old are you? And not you. How old are people
Okay.
in Russia when they retire?
Women and men have different retire age.
Oh, really?
Yes, but it was now maybe it's changed, but it was this way. It's but I can't quite remember. It also like in Japan, 60 maybe 65.
Okay. So maybe we can say 60-ish. So ish it would be 60. If you put ish around an age, I wonder why that's not coming out as a 0. That's weird. 60. Okay. If you add ish to an age or a time, it's around. It means around. So around the 60s. In the USA, it is 65 right now, but when I retire, it'll be 67. And Ahmed, how are you today? Are you able to speak? Okay, maybe he's having problems with his microphone. So once you get it worked out, you're welcome to talk to us. Okay, so how about how old are you when you're old? Okay.
When I am old,
Anybody?
considering I'm old,
Or how
maybe
old will you be when you're old?
after retirement.
Okay, so
After
after 60?
Or but the current 60 is sometimes very vital, actually.
Yeah.
Like Paul McCartney, see, he's 70, but he's still sing in 3 hours on the stage, very harshly. So it's up to the person, probably.
Yeah, that is very true. It is up to the person completely. So, what do you think, Alexander? How old is a person when they're old?
Interesting question. Depends on mentally, I guess. Like it in your mind. You can young. I I know people, they like 30,
Hmm.
but their age 60, 65,
Hmm.
or maybe around 55,
Yeah.
but they are very, very young
Hmm.
inside.
My mom's husband will be 80 in May, so he's 79 right now, and he will get in there and he will play with all the children on all their different things. And in fact, the last snowstorm we had, he came out and got my sister's kids and helped them build. They spent hours building a snowman. And
Cool.
last winter, he built a snow fort out in front of their retirement center, just because he wanted to do that, and he just keeps himself very young, and he's almost 80 years old. It's great. So,
I believe I'll be the same
will
in
you be like
future.
that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a saying in English, you are only as old as you feel.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I think that's the answer for that one. Um, all right, so let's go on. We've got some idioms to look at. And Ahmed, Omar, are you available? Can you speak? Okay. So we have put years on someone, over the hill, no spring chicken, silver surfer, rob the cradle, and getting on in years. So let's see if you guys can figure out what these are. Um, um, okay, could you try the first one?
Okay, a person is blank has reached an age when they can no longer perform as well as before. Person is put gear over the hill up spring chicken. People not getting in your ear. No spring chicken.
Okay.
No.
Any idea on this one?
No spring chicken.
No, it's not that one. A
Over the
person.
hill.
It is that one.
Okay.
A person is over the hill.
Mhm.
A person is a person. Oh, it should be a person who is over the hill. Let me fix that. Person who is over the hill has reached an age when he or she got some grammar problems here, when he or she can no longer perform as well as before. Okay. Number 2, Alexander, can you try this one?
If you actually, I have no idea. This
Okay.
phrase, like,
Let's go over this together. We'll just do this together. So, if you rob the cradle, you have a romantic relationship with someone who is much younger than yourself. So if you rob the cradle. For example, I have a friend who, when she was 36, she married a man who was 62. Her dad was 68. So, in the many respects, he robbed the cradle. Or my niece was 18, and she started dating a man who was the same age as her mother, and at the time her mother was 38, so 20 years difference.
yes, I get it.
Yeah, so whether that's right or not, who knows. So number 3, a blank is an elderly person who uses the internet. Any idea what that would be? Any guess?
Silver surfer.
Yes, a silver surfer, and that comes from internet surfing. So anyone who uses the internet after a certain age, it could be considered a silver surfer. And next one, an event or difficult situation puts years on someone. It makes them look or feel much older. I think one of the reasons, for example, one of the reasons I look so much younger than I am is because I have had a very good life. I haven't had a lot of major, have never drank, I've never smoked, and then I've also haven't had any really difficult experiences in my life. So my twin sister, on the other hand, has had some difficult years, and it put years on her. And even though I am 8 minutes older than her, we don't look the same age. So people have thought she's my mom. So, and it's either because I look too innocent or she doesn't. So, or her decisions, her choices have put years on her. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, someone who is getting on in years is getting old. Growing old. So if you're getting on in years, well, we're all getting on in years, right? Which is good. I look forward to growing old. Okay, and then to say that someone is no spring chicken means that they are quite old or well past their youth. So if you are old and well past your youth, you can say to somebody, "Sonny, I am no spring chicken here." So that is.
What well past means?
Well past. It means.
Was good. Yes.
It just means you're past the years. So well past would be, so well past their youth. So if you're well past your youth, youth is between what, 15 and 25, and if you're well past, then maybe you're 45. So to be well past something is beyond. Well past would mean beyond. Does that make sense?
Not not quite. I will look at my dictionary now.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So this means several years past. So okay. All right. Next one. Where are we at for time? Okay, we have plenty of time. Okay. Now let's see if you guys can use these. We've got put years on someone, over the hill, no spring chicken, silver surfer, rob the cradle, and getting on in years. So number one, okay, can you try that one?
Okay, I hardly recognized Mr. Brown. His illness.
Oops, sorry.
His illness getting on years.
No.
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 Put years on him.
Yes. His illness put years on him. Yeah. So put years on him. Okay. Right, number two. Alexander, can you try that one?
Yes. My grandmother is over the hill. She is no longer able to look after herself.
Okay. So she is over the hill. Okay. And number three, Ake.
After just a few questions, my grandmother was ready to join the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. How about your grandparents?
Not at all.
Not at all? Okay. How about yours, Alexander?
No, I even bought my mother a laptop, and whole year I tried uh, to teach her how to use it, but I failed.
Okay. Yeah, okay. My mom is 75, and I was successful at teaching her. I was very pleased. It took me an entire summer. It was the summer I was 29, and it took me so long to teach them how to use email. But once I got that down, then they were able to figure the rest out. So anyway, number 4, Alexander.
Gran, you say you are no spring chicken, but you are sure don't look like it.
Okay, let me look.
No,
Um,
no.
I would say, Gran, you say there's 2 possibilities for this one. Either, Gran, you say you're getting on in years, but you sure don't look like it, or Gran, you say you're over the hill, but you sure don't look like it. And since we've already used over the hill, we will say you are getting on in years. Okay.
Is it? Sorry, I have a question. Is it common to say getting on in years or getting older? Which more common?
They're both I would say used about the same rate. There's both of them are very, very similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, can you do number 5?
My Uncle Ted is dating a 20 years old girl. That's a really rough cradle.
So he's really robbing the cradle. Yeah. And everybody knows what a cradle is, right? Do you know what a cradle is?
That the kid's baby toy or something?
It's a baby bed.
Ah, yeah.
Here, this is from the last class I taught. Bear with me. Let's go. Okay. Cradle. C-R-A-D-L-E. It's usually one of these that is used during the baby's probably the first 6 months of life, maybe. So, okay. All right, and Alexander, could you do the next one?
How old is the owner? I don't know, but she's it's getting on. I don't know, but she's over the hill.
You could say she's over the hill would work on that one, but also you could say she's no spring chicken. I think this one is the hardest one to really kind of get. But basically, if a person if you say the person is no spring chicken, you just say she's old. She or he is old. So it's the same. So, but we wouldn't say that. We wouldn't call a young person a spring chicken very often.
Is it rude to call someone old? This.
It really depends. I think in reality you wouldn't say, "Oh, he's old." You would say, maybe she's a no. How would you say that? Maybe senior or older than me. It really depends on the situation. Because if somebody is if somebody's older, like for example, as old as my mom, she wouldn't care if somebody called her old. But if somebody's say for example 62 and she feels like she's 42, she would have a hard time being called old. So so I guess it really depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
So all right. All right, let's go on. I'm going to go on. We're going to do some fluency practice. We have about 10 more minutes left. So, okay, can you choose a question and ask Alexander? And could you guys discuss that question? And if I hear any language feedback, I'll give it to you.
Some people say that men never grown up. They just get bigger. Do you agree? Explain your opinion.
I've never heard of that actually.
You've never heard that, huh?
No. It depends of a man, but I think it's even depends on person. Woman and man can be he became bigger, but not became adult in his mind. And it depends on her lifestyle, where you live, where you were born, in what country. Yeah, of course it can be that, but mostly I guess people became adult, and man and woman.
What do you think about that, Ake?
Yeah, definitely men can grow up because I have to in accordance with age.
Yes. So you think that men do grow up? That's kind of a weird question or weird thing to say.
Yeah, and
it is different age.
Yeah, and it cannot be generalized in accordance with genders.
Yeah. Do you know some women who pretty much have never grown up? Or do you guys know men or women who've never grown up?
What do you mean no grow? I am 31, but I'm very young inside, and I'm not many people who 30 are like my age. They are very boring and like old. My acquaintance, many they are like growing men who 16. It's too boring to talk with them. I don't like it. But if you feel responsibility of your own life, I think you adult person.
Okay.
You can feel a responsibility for life, be responsible, and have a funny life, funny attitude.
Okay. Do you agree, Ake?
Yeah, I think so. And kind of development happens, kind of it's a personal thing, individual thing. So this part of development and other parts not developed, or maybe such kind of thing is happening in individuals. For example, many stars, they are famous, they succeed in society, but at the same time, they rely on their manager so much, so they cannot. I heard many times they cannot know how to buy a ticket of plane or a train, or so such kind of thing is they are not developed. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Yeah. And I think that you hear about the people who the grown men who still live with their mom, and they still take their laundry home to mom and let mom do it. but they, in many respects, are still very much grown up. so anyway, Alexander, could you ask a question?
Okay. Hmm, just a sec. Maybe you choose. I don't know. They are too big.
Oh, okay, they're too long.
Take
Okay.
many time.
Okay. How about I find this in this the very last question is kind of interesting. It says, in some countries, having children is considered a way of investing in the future, and young people are expected to give money to their parents when they get a job, and then to care for them when they retire. What are the good points and what are the bad points about this system? First of all, is it similar in your country? Are you as sons, are you expected to help your parents as they get older? And do you think that having children is truly an investment in the future?
It's of course it's not only investing, but it's of course it's one of the
benefits.
No. Forgot the word. The reason. Oh, it's a simple word. I forgot. One of the reason to have children. And I think it must be definitely. Yeah, children have to help their parents when they grow old.
Okay. All right. What do you think, Ake?
Maybe the society changed. This kind of system collapsed. People don't think children as an investment, maybe, but kind of, how can I say, not financially, but some people rely on the kids financially after they grow up, but usually they have a pension system, but so that's more reliable than kids probably. And but maybe they can rely on, how can I say, the mentally, but most case maybe not so many people live with their parents after they they became senior citizens. Yeah, some of them do, but some of them don't. So kind of our society and social system changed. So but in the past, the people live in a big family and children was a workforce too. But nowadays, having children spends more cost actually.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Mainly educational cost, yeah.
So, and and if you want the kids to have hobbies and stuff like that, that's really expensive.
Yeah, many kids go to the university nowadays, so it's very costly. So maybe such kind of circumstances changes and people's mind or consciousness changed towards this issue.
Yeah. However, I'm in one of those precarious situations where I'm single. I'm 45, and I actually, for the last, I would say, 10 years, have thought about that. If since I probably will not have children of my own, what is going to happen to me when I'm 80 or 75 or 65 or whatever? And so I devised a plan to spoil my nieces and nephews so they'll take care of me. So, because I mean, you don't really think about it, but when you get older, you really have to be dependent again on somebody. And I'd rather be dependent on my nieces and my nephews than a government program. So.
Yes.
But my 5-year-old nephew, his grandfather died last in August, and he told me that he was going to take care of me when I'm old, and I was going to be buried a certain way. So, and I have different wishes, but anyway. Well, guys, thank you very much for your participation. I hope you got a chance to practice a lot of speaking today, and I hope to see you in another class. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
See you after
Bye.
break.
Bye.
Yes, I'll take a break. Bye.